You ever wake up to the sound of metal screaming in your own backyard? Not a raccoon. Not a branch falling, no. The sharp, deliberate snip-snip of bolt cutters chewing through a chain like it owed her money. That's exactly how my Tuesday started in Oakwood Grove. The kind of cookie-cutter suburb where everyone smiles on the group chat but measures your grass with a ruler. And the woman holding those cutters? Lorraine Hargrove. HOA Vice President. Self-appointed Queen of Community Standards, and the reason half the neighborhood kept their blinds shut tighter than a miser's wallet. I stepped out onto my back porch in nothing but sweatpants and yesterday's coffee breath. Phone already in hand. Lorraine. What the actual hell are you doing on my property? My voice came out calm, too calm. The kind of calm that comes from 3 years of biting my tongue while this woman fined me for a truck that was too visible from the street, for solar panels that reflected excessive glare, and for holiday lights that apparently violated the sacred aesthetic harmony of beige everything. But today? Today she'd gone full cartoon villain. She didn't even look up at first. Just kept sawing away at my side gate like she was trimming her prize roses. When she finally straightened, clipboard in one hand, bolt cutters dangling from the other like a trophy. Her face was the picture of righteous smog. Lips pursed, chin tilted. That perfect silver bob not daring to move in the breeze. Ethan Brooks, she said. Like she was reading my obituary. Article 7. Section 3.2. Unapproved accessory structure. I've given you multiple notices about this shed. She spat the word like it was profanity. It's a blight. It's visible from Mrs. Abernathy's kitchen window. And as enforcement officer, I have the authority. Authority to break into my yard? I cut her off. Stepping closer. The morning sun was hitting her just right, bright. Unforgiving. Turning her pearl earrings into little spotlights on her hypocrisy. You cut my lock. Lorraine. That's not enforcement. That's breaking and entering. She waved the clipboard like a holy text. The bylaws clearly state that the board may enter upon reasonable suspicion of violation. Your shed exceeds the square footage by 4 inches. Ethan. 4. Do you know what that does to property values? To the harmony of Oakwood Grove? Her voice dripped with that fake sweet Karen tone. The one that makes you want to laugh and scream at the same time. Behind her. My little backyard studio, my actual office. City approved. Permitted. And paid for, sat there innocent as a lamb. The same shed she'd been harassing me about for months. The one the local paper had even featured in a local maker's piece last spring. But no. To Lorraine, it was a crime against beige. I pulled out my phone. Hit record. Smile for the camera. Lorraine. You're trespassing. And I'm calling the cops. Her eyes narrowed. But there was that flicker, just a split second, where the mask slipped. You're overreacting. If you'd simply comply like a good neighbor. Good neighbor? I laughed. Low and sharp. The same good neighbor who told the whole block chat I was anti-community for parking my work van in my own driveway? The one who left anonymous notes about my disruptive lifestyle because I work from home instead of commuting like a drone? Yeah. I'm done complying. The dispatcher on the other end didn't even blink when I explained. She cut your lock? We'll have someone there in 10. Lorraine tried to play it cool. Crossing her arms. Tapping her sensible flats on my patio stones. But I saw her glance at the street. At the curtains twitching in Mrs. Abernathy's window across the way. The Queen was starting to sweat. Deputy Ramirez pulled up right on time. Boots crunching on the gravel. He took one look at the mangled lock. Then at Lorraine still clutching her precious bolt cutters like they were Excalibur. Ma'am. Did you cut this? It was necessary, she sniffed. Chin high. For the greater good. Ramirez didn't smile. Greater good doesn't cover criminal trespass. Turn around. The cuffs clicked. Lorraine's face went from smug to shocked, mouth open in a perfect O. Eyes bulging like she'd just realized the world wasn't her HOA fiefdom. This is outrageous. I'm the vice president. You can't. Oh. We can, Ramirez said, guiding her toward the cruiser. Neighbors were spilling out now, old Mr. Patel from next door. Shaking his head, the young couple down the block filming on their phones. You'll be hearing from my lawyer, she hissed over her shoulder as they loaded her in. I just waved. See you at the next meeting. Lorraine. Try not to violate any bylaws in county lockup. 2 days later. The official HOA letter showed up. Not slid under the door like a guilty secret, oh no. This one was delivered by certified mail. Thick cream stock. Embossed seal. The works. Dear Mr. Brooks. It read. The board regrets any misunderstanding regarding the recent enforcement action on your property. While Vice President Hargrove's methods may have strayed from protocol, her intent was solely to preserve the standards that make Oakwood Grove the envy of the suburbs. I read it twice. Then forwarded it to my cousin Sarah, the assistant DA who'd been waiting for this exact kind of nonsense. They're circling the wagons, she texted back. Classic. But they just handed us the rope. That night, I didn't storm the community center like some rage-fueled YouTuber. I waited. Watched. Because the thing about people like Lorraine is they don't stop, they double down. Sure enough. The next morning, a fresh citation was tacked to my front door. Unapproved structure. Remove within 72 hours or face $250 daily fines. Nailed. Not taped. Like we were in the goddamn dark ages. I didn't respond. Instead, I called my insurance guy. Filed for vandalism on the gate. Then I had a locksmith out, reinforced deadbolt. 4K camera with night vision. Motion alerts that pinged straight to my phone. And Sarah helped me draft the mother of all complaints, trespass. Destruction of property. Civil rights violation. The whole 9 yards. We dropped it in the HOA's legal mailbox at the community center. Right under their little Harmony Through Compliance sign. The retaliation was predictable. My truck got tagged for excessive height, it wasn't. My recycling bin was cited for being 2 inches too far from the curb. But the real fun started when the whispers turned. Old Mrs. Patel cornered me at the mailboxes, she did the same to my bird feeder last month. No notice. Just pictures and a fine. The Millers down the street admitted their patio furniture had been inspected without them home. Little by little, the dam cracked. The board meeting was supposed to be routine. Mailbox colors. Lawn height debates. But the room was packed, standing room only. Folding chairs spilling into the hallway. I walked in with Sarah. Her in a sharp navy suit. Me in jeans and a hoodie that said I pay my dues. You don't own me. Lorraine's seat was empty. Her nameplate still sat there like a ghost. President Greg Thompson cleared his throat. Palms sweating on the table. Mr. Brooks. You have 3 minutes for public comment. I didn't need 3. I'm here about criminal misconduct, I said. Voice steady. Your vice president trespassed. Destroyed my property. And the board tried to cover it. I've got police reports. Video. And now a restraining order. I slid copies across the table. The room went dead quiet. Then Sarah stepped up. And if any more of this petty retaliation continues, bogus fines. Anonymous smears, we're taking it to civil court. Every board member. Depositions. The works. That's when the floodgates opened. Mrs. Patel stood first. She came into my yard unannounced. Took photos of my roses. A dad from the cul-de-sac found her snooping my shed last week. Said it was aesthetic review. Hands shot up. Stories poured out, fines for kids' basketball hoops. Warnings for political signs that were too divisive, all of it. Lorraine's little empire was crumbling in real time. And the best part? She wasn't even there to watch. Greg stammered something about reviewing policies, but Sarah wasn't done. You'll do more than review. Written apology. Rescind the citations. And suspend enforcement until an independent audit. Or we'll see you in court. The meeting ended in stunned silence. Outside. Neighbors clapped me on the back. About damn time, Mr. Patel said. I went home. Hung up new signs, smile. You're on camera, and slept like a baby. But the real explosion came 2 weeks later. Sarah had been digging. Public records requests flying. Turns out Bluebird Community Services, the HOA's go-to-maintenance contractor, didn't exist. Not really. It was a shell company funneled straight to Greg's brother-in-law. Over $92,000 in compliance upgrades that somehow included hidden mics and long-range cameras. The kind you plant in bushes. The kind that pick up backyard conversations about selling your house. Arguing with your spouse. Everything. We called an emergency petition. 68 signatures in 48 hours. Recall vote. The board fought it, threats of lawsuits. Emergency meetings, but the tide had turned. At the special assembly. The room was electric. Greg looked like he'd aged a decade. Ty askew. Eyes darting. Lorraine? She'd shown up in oversized sunglasses. Trying to play victim. This is a witch hunt, she whined into the mic. I was only protecting our home values. The crowd laughed. Actual laughs. Then Sarah dropped the folder, transcripts from the mics. My name in one, Ethan's at it again with that shed. Lori. Handle it personally. Bolt cutters if you have to. The room erupted. Phones came out. Someone yelled. You recorded us? In our own yards? Lorraine's face went white. Then purple. She stood up. Chair screeching. You don't understand. It was for safety. For order. But her voice cracked. The queen was cornered. Lipstick smeared. Hands trembling as she clutched her pearls. The vote was 87-4. Board dissolved. New interim committee elected on the spot, real people. Not power trippers. And that night? Police lights lit up Lorraine's driveway. They found the recordings. The invoices. The whole rotten core. 3 months later. Oakwood Grove breathed different. Flags flew without fines. Kids played street hockey past 7 p.m. The new bylaws? Simple, no anonymous complaints. Fines need a vote. And every dollar spent? Posted online for all to see. Lorraine? Pleaded down to probation after the feds got involved, wire fraud. Illegal surveillance. The works. She sold her McMansion at a loss and moved to a condo in Florida. Where I hear the HOA there is already regretting her application. Greg took a plea too. The rest scattered like roaches when the lights flip on. Me? I kept the shed. Painted it a defiant forest green. Added one more camera. Just for old time's sake. And every time I walk past that side gate, the one with the shiny new lock, I smile. Because sometimes, the real violation isn't a 4-inch shed. It's thinking you can own your neighbors' lives and call it standards. So tell me, folks, was I the villain for finally fighting back? Or was Lorraine the real Karen all along? The one who turned a neighborhood into her personal police state? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Who's really breaking the rules here, the guy with the shed? Or the woman who'd cut through anything to keep her crown?